Once again, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Arlington High School for tonight's MIAA and Middlesex League boys varsity basketball game between Woburn High School and your Arlington Spy Ponders. Just a friendly reminder that participating student athletes, coaches, and contest officials have worked diligently to prepare for today's competition. Please show your appreciation by demonstrating good sportsmanship and respect for all in attendance. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion shall not be tolerated and will subject the violator to ejection and exclusion from future games. This could include using player names and their jersey numbers, the calling out of officials or coaches for any reason. We ask all spectators to cheer positively for their team and support the play of these hardworking high school athletes, coaches, and game officials. And now at this time, let's meet the starting lineup for both teams. First for the visitors from Woburn. Starting at guard, a freshman number 25, Ethan Samuel. At guard, a freshman number 10, Chris Chiodo. Also at guard, a junior number 21, Jacoby Altman. And at guard, a junior number 3, Mikey Sullivan. And at forward, a junior number 13, Thomas McGregor. Your head coach for Woburn is Mr. David White. And now at this time, let's meet the starting lineup for your Arlington Spy Ponders. Starting on one guard, senior number 23, Katie Mills. Also at guard, senior number 44, Drew Carmen. At guard, junior number 21, Lincoln Fudge. And one forward, junior number 0, Peter Clordy. And the other forward, junior number 33, James Dingman. The assistant coaches for Arlington are Mike Palladino and Matt Woods, and your head coach is Jack Woods. And now at this time, I'm pleased to ask that you rise to honor America and join with Arlington High School senior Caleb Troy as he sings our national anthem. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly gleaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of all.
Good evening and welcome to Arlington High School for this varsity boys basketball game. It's senior night for the boys team as they face off against the Tanners of Woburn High School. My name is Lewis McCulloch, standing in for Don Phelan tonight, alongside Tim Hoffman with Meredith Lamont on the camera, and we'd like to thank ACMi Sports for the use of the equipment to bring you today's game live. Woburn comes into tonight's game with a record of 1-16. Arlington faced off against Woburn earlier this season on January 19th, winning on the road by a final score of 69-51. The Spy Ponders now stand with a record of 12 wins against only 3 losses. They will be looking to continue their winning ways after beating Reading earlier this week by 1 point. Tim, I'm excited for this one. Thanks for having me. What are your thoughts as we get this game underway?
I think as long as Arlington takes care of business, plays their signature tough defense, pushes the ball up the floor, I think it's going to be Arlington's way early and often. I do want to give a shout out to the kid who sang the national anthem. Usually we get a recording, but he was a high school student. He did a great job. I love seeing that.
That was great, and we're underway. First shot for Woburn, rims out.
Sometimes with a team down like Woburn, they're rebuilding. Obviously, they're starting 2 freshmen. Sometimes you come out slow, you play down to your opponent's ability. But I think with Arlington, with such good coaching they know that they got to come out, push the ball, and play tough defense, take care of business, and then maybe get some of the other guys in the game.
We'll set the lineup for you for Arlington on senior night as Lincoln Fudge gets the first 2 of the game. Senior Caden Williams, number 23, and Drew Carmen, senior number 44, start, along with 3 juniors. Lincoln Fudge, number 21, Peter Clorty, number 0, and James Dingman, 33.
What a senior year Caden Mills has had. A football year where he rushed for over 2,000 yards and 20-plus touchdowns. He's had a phenomenal high school basketball career as doing all the dirty work, playing defense, rebounding, facilitating his teammates. He's a great teammate. What a great senior year he's had.
And he gets the Ponders off to a great start, forcing a 10-second violation there. First turnover of the game. Arlington basketball up too early.
Good ball movement by Arlington.
Drew Carmen in the corner. Swings it up top to Peter Clorty. Ponders being patient on offense here, looking for the right shot. Dingman, as the shot clock winding down, gets that one to fall.
Yeah, Woburn's going to have a tough time checking both Fudge and Dingman. They just don't have the personnel to stick with them defensively. Look at Caden Mills. I mean, this boy, getting checked by Caden Mills is a nightmare. He's such a great defensive player.
I would say he's up for senior night, but I think he's up for every game, Tim.
Yeah, he's just comes at it, plays with intensity, and he's always brings it. He's a great teammate.
Great pressure defense being applied by Arlington. Long 3-pointer for Woburn, up no good. Fudge with the rebound.
Hey, you look at Arlington's just going to get it and go. They're going to push it up the floor, try to dictate tempo.
Clorty gets himself out of trouble. Carmen swings to Dingman. Drive and beautiful finish in the lane. You're right, Tim. There's just not a lot of height in there right now for Woburn.
Yeah, and I think what they're doing, they have their young guys in. They know the season's already over for them, record-wise, but obviously not competitive-wise. So they're going to give some of the younger guys a look. They do have some size on the bench, so I wouldn't be surprised if they start subbing in some of the bigger guys to protect the rim.
So we got a timeout, quick early timeout for Woburn. Just under 6 minutes left here in the first quarter. Arlington with the early 6-0 lead. Here on senior night. Not a bad start for the Spy Ponders.
Yeah, you almost want on senior night to have a really competitive game. Unfortunately, I do not foresee a very competitive game tonight. But then again, there's the Middlesex League is sort of like the have and have-nots. You have the Arlingtons, the Lexingtons, Reading. They're going to play competitive games every night. But then you have some of the other teams who are the Woburn being one of them that just don't put out a competitive team. And it's unfortunate because senior night, if they had a real barn burner, it would be really cool. But then again, I'm sure they're just looking for the W.
It'll be Tanner basketball inbounding on the baseline. No changes yet to the lineups for either side. Oh, that's a steal by Dingman. Dumps it to Caden Mills. Great pass, great finish.
Good unselfish play by James. Good to get the senior the bucket early.
Good defense down low being applied by Carmen. And that's going to be another turnover. Great hands by Caden. Finds Dingman and he'll return the favor. Oh, can't finish, no call. Clarity, nice anticipation to get the steal there, and that's force another turnover. Drew Carmen open for three, takes it. Can't get that one to fall.
Good ball movement there. That was an open shot. Good shot involved in the offense. Didn't force it.
And that's going to be a foul, shooting foul, as Woburn was fouled on the way in. I think the foul's going to be on Lincoln Fudge first. Woburn to the line for 2, down 8 here in the first quarter.
Yeah, so far Arlington has been doing what they do well. They play tough defense. They push the ball. They have good ball movement, unselfish on offense, share the basketball, and that's a recipe for disaster for Woburn tonight.
Coach Woods is going to be pleased with that. He's assisted by Mike Palladino and Matt Woods on the bench.
Like, well, I contend one of the best coaching staffs. So you see, I mean, obviously Coach Woods is a great coach. Coach Pal has been around the game forever, knows the game inside and out. And what a great coaching staff. These guys are lucky to have them. The town of Arlington's lucky to have them.
The referee's going to call that off. Dingman, I believe. Nice rebound and push by him. Unlucky with the turnover. And Tim, you talked about the youth movement for Woburn. They started 3 freshmen tonight and have yet to get one to fall. Clarity up ahead to Dingman. Drives, attacks, no call, no bucket.
Yeah, they might get some buckets by the time these guys are sophomore. The thing is with Woburn, too, is just what a storied athletic history they've had. They're good in every sport. You mentioned the girls basketball team. I know they're great in hockey. And, you know, back in the day, Woburn basketball was unbelievable with the great Ron Hobby, Peter Lennon, and all these guys came through the Woburn Boys Club. Glenn Sterling was a coach there that had all these guys back in the 70s and 80s played for him. It was sort of pre-AAU, and Woburn was ahead of the game in hoops, and they had some great teams. Scott Tully and those guys were just unbelievable. So it's a little bit strange to see them so down now, but then again, things have changed, whether it's you know, Catholic schools, private schools, whatnot, where kids go to. But back in the day, if you came through the Woburn Boys Club program, you could play hoop and you were tough.
Got Arlington's second foul of the night on Dingman there. It'll be Woburn ball out of bounds on the baseline. Shots up for Woburn. That one's going to go down. 3 points on the board. 8-3 Arlington leads. Under 4 to go here in the first quarter.
Good shot, good form there.
Clarity surveys. Uses double screen. Kicks it down low to Caden. Goes up strongly and finishes with ease. And he's got 4 early points for Arlington.
Yeah, Caden always has everything else going. His defense, his rebounding, his passing is excellent. So when he starts putting some points up on the board, too, that's a huge advantage for Arlington.
Deep 3 for Woburn. No good. Mills gathers the rebound, fires it up ahead to Dingman, who sees Drew Carmen, and he's going to get the bucket and finish on senior night. Nice play, nice assist, nice finish.
I like 24, Matt Olson for Woburn. He's taken a couple of shots. He made the one, but he knows where the bucket is. He likes to let it fly. He's also a freshman. He's probably about 14, and he comes out here against one of the top teams in the Middlesex League, one of the top teams in the state, and he's jacking threes. Good for him. He's going to have a bright future. I like his attitude, even though we've only seen him for about 4 or 5 minutes, but I like the way he plays.
First subs here for Coach Woods as Drew Carmen and Lincoln Fudge head to the bench, and the Trapotsis boys come in, Nico and Lexi.
Not good news for Woburn. These guys play such tough defense. They'll get right up on you, and they're gonna just really cause havoc defensively, and which is going to cause some fast breaks for Arlington. Both excellent defensive players.
And there's a steal right on cue, Tim, as Clarity gets the ball and finishes.
Yeah, imagine bringing those two guys off the bench. That's the last thing you want to see if you're Woburn. Woburn brought a big kid in, 33. Dominic Cafella. Looks like he's about 6'5".
Spinning runner for Nick DeFelice, junior guard for Woburn, to get them up to 5 points. Clardy drives, takes a lot of contact, no call. It's going to be Woburn basketball going the other way.
I think the refs are going to let the boys play tonight, just get them up and down. I think they know it's a little bit lopsided as well. They don't get paid by the hour.
Got to travel, it's going to be a turnover.
Good defense by Woburn there.
And we've got the first timeout of the night for the Spy Ponders, as Arlington leads 14-5, just under 2 now here in the first quarter. Just a programming note, Tim mentioned earlier the very good Woburn girls basketball team will be in action here tonight against the Arlington Varsity girls. Tip-off for that is expected at 7 o'clock. Stay tuned. This will be the channel. This will be the live stream that we'll keep open for that game.
Good doubleheader tonight, huh?
Good doubleheader. Where Woburn flip-flops a little bit from their boys kind of maybe at the bottom of Division I, the girls right up at the top, ranked 3rd in the state. So it should be a challenge.
Yeah, that's a tough team.
And while we have a break in the action, I'd just like to remind everyone that this is an ACMi sports production. Numerous Arlington High School sports games and events are filmed by ACMi Sports and made possible by both student and parent volunteers. If you're interested in helping to produce, film, commentate, and/or edit the games, please reach out to us at sports@acmi.tv to find out how you can gain experience and learn sports production while bringing more sports broadcasts to the Arlington community.
Anyone that's a fan of high school basketball, whether it be Arlington high school basketball or just high school basketball in general, which I am, you want to go to Waltham High on Monday, pre-Super Bowl game. Waltham High is one of the highest ranked teams in the state, and the Spy Ponders are traveling over there for a 1 o'clock game. So any of the students that come out the student section, come out and support your classmates and teammates in other sports. They're going to need it on Sunday. Waltham's going to be a tough game, but the Spy Ponders are up for it for sure.
Dingman drives, tough finish through contact.
He's so crafty inside. I mean, you bump him, you do whatever, but he gets up to the rim.
And we got our official timeout. I believe one of the Woburn players' shoe was off. Might have saved them a 5-second violation there.
At that point, just take it off. I like how Woburn they're subbing, early and often.
Yeah, that Arlington pressure is going to get to you, going to wear you down in this hot gym too.
And the other thing too is if you're not going to win some games, you want to get some experience for some of your other players. See who can perform under pressure, and then use that information next year when you start trying to rebuild the program.
And that's the second 10-second violation, as the pressure being applied by Mills and the Trapotsis brothers was very strong.
Yeah, that's who you want, is Caden Mills, and both Trapotsis is covering you. I'd be like, just give him the ball next time. I'll figure it out next trip.
Dingman brings the ball over half court, finds Mills up top. Under a minute here to go in the first quarter. Arlington leads 16-5. Three-pointer no good for number 5. That's Jack Zambardino into the game for the first time tonight.
Yeah, he's given him some really good bench support throughout the year. He comes in, he plays tough defense, he can hit the three, and he's a really smart basketball player, moves the ball well. Great pass.
That's just a beautiful assist by Alexi Trapotsis, grabbing the rebound, firing it up ahead to Dingman for another finish. I believe Dingman's already at 8 points on the night.
Alexis, that was his best time of the year. Usually he just plays defense, rebounds, but that was a beautiful pass.
Another turnover, another bucket for Dingman, and Arlington is rolling here early, 21-5. Hail Mary shot for Woburn, no good, and that's going to do it for the end of the first. Arlington leading 21-5. An all-around dominant performance for the Spy Ponders here after one, Tim.
Yeah, they're just outclassed Woburn. The nice thing with the Woburn team is that the way they play the game, they're playing hard. They know that they're outmanned. They're subbing a lot. They got the younger kids in there. They're going to give it every effort. The kids from Woburn are tough kids. They've always have been. but they just don't have the same talent level as Arlington does. So it's good to see that the way they're playing their game, there's no quit in the Woburn guys, but they're just not going to be able to stack up against the talent that Arlington has, both offensively and defensively.
So just resetting the lineups for you. No changes for Jack Woods. It remains Alexi Trapotsis, Nico Trapotsis, James Dingman, Caden Mills, and Jack Zambardino on the floor for the Spy Ponders.
Yeah, it's come tournament time. It's such an advantage to have Alexi and Nico Trapotsis come in. Nico usually starts, but Alexi, you come in and you have some fouls to waste. You can cover one of their best players, give them fits, and not really worry about fouling out. And it's just a huge advantage, especially as he's only a freshman, but he's such a good defensive player.
And Alexi will bring it up, find his brother, who finds Jack Zambardino at top.
Arlington just going to their motion offense, good back screens.
Great ball movement. That's an open look for Nico Trapotsis, and it's good. Three-pointer good for Arlington.
Nice to see Nico get off that with that. That's right in his wheelhouse. When they reverse the basketball, he gets his feet set. He's a good shooter.
Good hands by James Dingman there. Tipping the ball out of bounds. It'll remain Woburn basketball as they continue to shuffle bodies in and out to try to do something about this Arlington pressure.
And I think Woburn looks like they have about 20 kids dressed, and I wouldn't be surprised if they put them all in. A couple of those guys we saw in the JV game earlier that played pretty well, so I wouldn't be surprised if they get some of their JV players a little bit of varsity experience tonight here.
Three-pointer up and good for number 30, Dylan Sigsbury, a forward junior for Woburn. As Alexi runs the point for Arlington for a little bit here.
Yeah, I think they want to get him a little experience doing that because it's probably what he's going to be doing next year.
Zambardino, three-pointer up, not quite. Ooh. Quick hands by James Dingman, but he's going to be called for the touch foul there at the top of the key, his second. Substitution, Peter Clorty back in the game, replaces Dingman.
I like that as a no call. It seems like he anticipated the call. He thought he was going to reach in, but it seemed like it was pretty clean.
I agree. I feel like sometimes the referees anticipate they're going to make the call if they see the hand go down. Great defensive pressure continuing to be applied.
You had Nico on you, and then all of a sudden you got Alexi on you. Good luck.
And that's what happens. Turnover. Nico up to Peter Clorty. Bucket.
Good finish by Peter. He's very good at attacking the hoop. Goes in a straight line, doesn't dilly-dally, gets right up to the hoop.
Long three-pointer for Woburn is no good. That's going to be out of bounds on the top. And there's your guy, Tim, number 24.
I like him more now. He just jacket. He just turned and they took him out. But, oh, man. Hey, you know what? Down 20 in the first half. You know, you get me. I would only shoot if I had the ball.
Clorty brings the ball over. Double screen play. And we've got an offensive foul. I think moving screen. Yeah, moving screen on Drew Carmen.
That's a good call. I think Coach wanted them to move the ball a little bit. They took Olsen out. But, you know, he took a shot 3 or 4 steps, like maybe a yard and a half behind the three-point line, which shows you that he thinks he can make it. So
it's a good-looking shot. He shot it with confidence.
Yeah, good for him. We'll be in this gym in 3 years, and the kid will be a tough player.
Great rebound by Alexi Trapotsis up ahead to his brother Nico. Over to Clorty. Finds Drew Carmen in the corner, brings it back up top. Alexi's open for three. He'll take it. Rims out. Good offensive possession again as the Ponders continue to move the ball well.
Still no quit in Woburn. They're just playing tough, moving the basketball. There you go.
Another good shot for number 30.
He's got nice form. Sigsbury, he hit the three earlier. He's a good shooter.
Found a little pocket in the zone and took that shot. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Oh, had Zambardino backdoor for a half second. Patiently waiting for a better shot.
Nice passing.
Great passing, inside out. Wide open for three, and that's good. Drew Carmen on senior night with his second bucket. He's up to 5.
Got a little cheering section down there for himself.
Woburn having a little bit of trouble getting the ball around. That's going to be a turnover travel. I thought it could have been called out of bounds on the baseline, but either way, Arlington forces another turnover, leading 29-10 here in the second quarter.
Don's going to be jealous. They just brought a fan up here. We've been kidding each other all season about it's about 150 degrees up here doing the games. It's nice and cool with the fan. Don's down in Jamaica. He's doing these games for 39 years, volunteers his time. What an amazing asset he is to the community and to the basketball program at Arlington. But if he's watching on YouTube, Don, we have a fan in the booth. You're going to be very jealous. You might even want to fly home and catch the second half from Jamaica.
Plush accommodations up here tonight.
Absolutely. Imagine that, though, 39 years doing games here, volunteering his time.
Unbelievable. Clordy to the line, 2 shots. First one just off. Mills back into the game, replaces Jack Zambardino. Nice stretch from Zambardino there.
Yeah, he's been giving him good minutes. Even in the big games, he's been giving him good minutes off the bench. It's such an advantage to have a deeper team, especially as you go into the tough part of the season and into the tournament. You never know what's going to happen. Someone's going to get into foul trouble. Someone's going to twist an ankle, and you can bring someone off the bench that can play, that is not going to hurt you too much. It's a great, especially in high school, public high school basketball. To have a deep bench is unusual and a huge advantage.
And Coach Woods goes to his bench again here, bringing in number 4, Jonas Burrell, replacing Clordy,
who's also been a great bench player this year.
His first action for the evening.
Look at the Drosis playing defense. I mean, holy cow, he is just on you.
Three-pointer for Woburn up. That's going to be long. Carmen gathers the rebound, kicks it out to Nico.
Good defensive rebound there.
Lexi finds Burrell, back swings it round to Carmen. Nico drives, kicks it back out.
Arlington doing a great job moving the basketball. Good spacing, too. They're not on top of each other. They're running their offense.
Each possession, it seems like 7-8 passes before a shot. It's really nice offense. And Caden Mills is going to get fouled as he drove through, trying to make the pass. I'm not sure they're going to give him a shooting foul on that, so it'll probably be Arlington ball on the baseline. As Alexi gets ready to inbound. Burrell for 3. A little strong. And Woburn with a chance here to push. Closed down very quickly by Alexi Troposis. I think he's going to get fouled, going to get called for the foul coming from behind.
I think this one ref has made every call. I think the other guys have their cars started out in the parking lot.
The other guys read the script. It's senior night. Let's get out of here. Let's get on to the celebration.
Let's go.
Substitution for Woburn, number 24. Matt Olson back in the game.
Good.
Sigsbury, three-pointer no good. Offensive rebound, second chance for Woburn. And the minute he's in the game, minute he touches the ball.
Perfect.
Olson's going to fire it up there.
Yeah, he's got to bend his knees a little bit more on that. It was sort of straight-legged. It's tough to get any momentum on your shot when you don't bend your knees a little bit.
Offense is slowed down a little bit for both sides here. Late into the second quarter, Arlington still leading 29-10. Trapotsis, long two-pointer, a little strong. Woburn collects the ball, but Arlington is up on them with the pressure, and that's going to be another turnover. Great defense being applied by Arlington full court.
Yeah, it's tough for the younger kids from Woburn. You got Caden Mills, who's played a ton of high school basketball games, playing against some tough competition, covers the toughest kid on each team, and then all of a sudden he's covering you in the backcourt. You just whip the ball anywhere.
Drew Carmen saves it, swings it across to Trapotsis, finds Burrell, finds the elder Trapotsis open for three, up. Good shots, just not quite getting them to fall at this point.
Yeah, good look at it, good reverse of the basketball.
And Tim, I agree with you. I think it seems the game's a little too fast for Woburn right now. Arlington just looks more poised, more controlled, and they're just making Woburn do things a little quicker than they want to.
Absolutely.
That's going to be a turnover. It'll be Woburn basketball as we got a couple of substitutes coming in. Jack Zambardino, Peter Clordy, and for the first time tonight, number 20, Cameron Levine into the game, replacing Alexi Trapotsis, Jonas Burrell, and Drew Carmen.
Coach Wood's doing a great job of rotating his players. Everyone's getting some good run. They're picking up full, so they're getting a good workout in. And you can see that he doesn't have Fudge and Dingman, two of the best players in the Middlesex League, and so there's some sportsmanship involved in this as well. He's not trying to, kick the living snot out of Woburn, and also maybe saving the guys for Sunday, which is going to be a big game. I think Waltham has one or two losses. I mean, they're a really tough team.
Caden Mills with another good finish down low. Gets him to 6 points for the game. A little bit softer pressure applied there. Woburn's able to get into half court, but they're going to force a tough shot off no passes, and Arlington looks to run.
Yeah, they always get it and go. They get good team defensive rebounding. They protect their defensive glass well, and then they really look to push. Oh, might have been a little double dribble there, but.
Clordy finds Levine, who finds Trapotsis. Kicks it back out to Levine. He's going to drive baseline to find Clordy. Nice dish, nice finish. Great offensive possession.
Good pass by Levine.
And that's cookies and the bucket. Count it. Caden Mills with the steal, finish, foul. He'll get a chance to go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
I give them credit to stand in front of Caden Mills. I mean, there are guys on the football field that didn't want to stand in front of him, but Ethan Samuel, a freshman guard from Woburn, tried to take a charge. He had his feet moving. It was a good call, but I give the kid credit. I mean, Caden Mills, is built like a safe, and the freshman doesn't have the same physique, but I give him credit. He stood right in front of him. He might not do it again, but at least he tried the first time.
Number 13, Thomas Wright, into the game for the first time tonight for Coach Woods, as Mills can't get the free throw to go. And Levine will be called for a foul going for the offensive rebound.
I like Wright. Wright's come into a few games before. He sees the floor well. He's a good facilitator and has good handle. Haven't seen much of him offensively, but I know he's a good, smart basketball player, someone that we'll see more as the years go by.
And that'll be 5 fouls on the Spy Ponders late here in the second quarter, so Woburn will go to the line for 2 shots. Number 3, Mickey Sullivan, junior guard, to the line for 2.
Did you get to see Caden play football at all this year, Lewis?
I missed it. I was too busy watching the girls' soccer.
Okay. I mean, what a season he had. I mean, 2,000 yards, 20-plus touchdowns. I know he had a couple of multi-touchdown games. I think there was a 4 or 5 or 6er in there. I saw him play twice. I saw him play against Belmont. He dominated the game, not just offensively, but as from like the outside linebacker safety position. What a great high school football player he was. Had an unbelievable season.
And he's able to collect the rebound as Arlington looks to wind down this half. They're currently leading by 24, 35-11. As Clorty drives and gets fouled, he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
You always see the multi-sport athletes on any team, but Arlington really has a good contingent of their football players with Mills and both Traposis. I mean, even a freshman, Alexi, he was a starter on the football team, and what a great high school athlete to be a contributor on the basketball team, starting on the football team as a freshman. Great future ahead of him.
Number 32, Nick Rudolph, into the game for the first time tonight, replaces Caden Mills.
You get good position there. Oh.
I thought he had a clean offensive rebound. A ref saw it the other way, and that's going to be a foul, and Woburn will get 2 more free throws here as we prolong the first half.
Coach Woods is baffled. He's like, what?
I think 90% of the gym is baffled on that call.
Yeah, I think Coach Woods, he went straight up.
And Tim, I think you're right. I think the streak continues, as that referee might be the only one that's blown his whistle tonight.
I would take the whistles away from them just so that we can get this thing moving.
Tim's new favorite player, Matt Olson, hits both to bring Woburn to 13. Clorty using the screen well. What a pass, what a finish. Rudolph for 2.
Good catch by Rudolph, too. Underrated aspect of the game is catching the basketball.
And we have Rudolph's second foul. He's getting on the score sheet for the minutes or 2 that he's been in.
He's got a foul, a rebound, a good bucket. It shows you just the depth of Arlington. I mean, if he was on Woburn, he'd be one of their starters. And, you know, he's a good high school basketball player. But sometimes you get buried when you have such a really good team.
Wright with the rebound, up ahead to Clorty. Cam Levine back in the game, as is Jack Zambardino. Shot clock, actually half, winding down. Wright able to follow his own shot. Oh, can't get the bucket. Can't get the bucket to go, and that's going to do it for the first half. Arlington leads 37-14 here on senior night against the Tanners of Woburn. We're going to take a quick break. We'll leave the stream up and running, and we'll be back at the beginning of the third quarter. Welcome back to Arlington High School as we're about to get the third quarter underway against Woburn High. Arlington leading 37-14. So Tim, you've been in the locker room before. What's Coach Woods doing in a situation like this where the game is comfortably in hand? What do you expect he's saying? What are you looking for here as we get the third quarter underway?
I think just stick to the fundamentals, do what they've been teaching them, is play tough defense, push the ball up the floor, don't do anything crazy. You obviously don't want to get anyone hurt. And he'll play his starters here, and they probably told him, go out hard, get a good workout in 4 or 5 minutes, and then you're not going to see Fudge or Digman again for the rest of the game. And probably the only reason you're seeing Mills is because it is senior night. The other thing is, don't be surprised if Arlington comes out really strong here in the first part of this. Woburn didn't come out at halftime to warm up. A couple of the guys just walked out on the court. I can't imagine that they're going to be ready to go, but the Arlington guys, especially Fudge and Digman that have been sitting for a while, we just got to tell them, just run the offense, don't do anything silly, respect the other team.
As we set the lineup here for the Spy Ponders, it is the same as the starting five: Mills and Carmen, along with 3 juniors, Dingman, Clordy, and Fudge. As Woburn gets the first bucket of the second half to fall, Clordy brings the ball over half.
Good defense by Woburn. But Coach Woods did not like that right from the get-go. 35 seconds in. Whatever he told them, they didn't do, and he's not happy with it, so he wanted them to do something different.
So Jack Woods with an early timeout, hoping to reset the energy probably and remind them what we're doing here, as we still have a long way to go in this basketball game.
Yeah, I think he had Peter bringing the ball up. I think that he was supposed to have some sort of help or an outlet, and whatever they designed did not come to fruition. And I think that the players probably started freelancing a little bit, and Coach Woods saw it and nipped it at the bud.
So it'll be Arlington basketball, sideline out of bounds early here in the third quarter.
They're tough out of bounds, too. I wouldn't be surprised to get a set play here.
And before we come back to action, just a quick shout out to Richard and Linda Battles watching the game tonight from Haverhill. Hope you guys are enjoying the game.
Yeah, they'll set up a box on multiple screens.
Lincoln inbounds to Mills as Arlington gets into their motion offense. Dingman drives, kicks it to open Fudge for 3. That's good. That's great offense.
Yeah, good ball movement, good spacing.
And Lincoln had time that there to set his feet and shoot with patience, and that shot is pretty.
Yeah, he's got great form. But he gets his feet under him and has that a little extra half second there. He's just such a tough shooter.
And with all the attention that the defense has to pay to James Dingman, he had all day to shoot that 3, as number 30 gets a 3 to go for Woburn.
Yeah, Dylan Sigsbury, he's got nice form. He's hit a couple. He hit 2 threes, and he's got that medium range jumper. He's giving him a little boost offensively.
Arlington by 20 now, 40-20.
Oh, nice pass.
Great pass by Dingman. That's 2 assists for him early in this half as he found Mills cutting to the basket for a nice finish.
Arlington in a 2-2-1 trap, full court trap.
They get the turnover. Clordy to Mills. He'll go in strong. Can't get the finish, but Clordy's there to wrap it up and put it in.
What a good rebounder for a guard. Oh, so it's a 1-2-2. They're going to trap here.
Couldn't quite get the trap on the sidelines, out of bounds off of Dingman's leg. It'll stay Woburn basketball.
They'll go back to regular man-to-man. Oh, no, they're back in the zone. You don't see that too much from Arlington.
Soft zone there, and Woburn's able to find the pocket in the middle and get an open shot as Mills calls for assistance getting the ball inbounds, finds Fudge. Up ahead to Dingman, who sees Carmen. And that's well done on the press break. Nice, easy finish for Drew Carmen.
Yeah, you get 3 guys in the backcourt. You're not going to have anyone in the front court. He's feeling it.
Sigsbury misses that one as Clardy comes up with the rebound. Letting him play a little bit here, no calls.
I think they got the memo at halftime when the other two refs said, hey, dude, stop blowing every single whistle. It's going to be a 40-point game. Oh, nice pass. That's a good call.
That's going to be a charge on Dingman, his third. He's looking a little frustrated.
Yeah, that's a really good play by the Woburn player to get underneath him. And he just has to slide a little bit to his right, to the ball side with that, and then you wouldn't get the charge. But you're going to see that more and more as the games get tighter here towards tournament time.
Dingman responds well, getting his hands on that. Foul on Clardy as he goes to the line. He just goes to the bucket. He'll go to the line for 2. Good response by James Dingman there, just to keep his head in the game and come up with a steal there after a foul that he was not happy with.
Yeah, you can see he's still not happy. He's such a competitor.
Clardy's first one's up and good. Second free throw off the front rim, but Mills is there to tip it to himself, collect it, takes it strong, no call, and Woburn comes up with the ball. Nice attack by number 10 for Woburn there to get the finish.
Coast to coast.
That's freshman guard Chris Chiodo, who stays active on defense and forces a turnover by Mills. Nico Trapotsis checks in, replacing Drew Carmen. Good defense by Dingman, forcing a turnover on the baseline. It's going to be Arlington basketball.
Yeah, Arlington throwing a little bit of curveball. It's the first time we've seen them this season playing a quarter court zone. Looks like either a 1-2-2 or a 3-2 zone. Nice pass.
Mills broke the press, found Lincoln Fudge. That one's going to get blocked on the backboard. Three-pointer for Woburn up, no good. Yeah, Dingman had good position there. He got fouled from behind on that rebound.
See, Coach Woods is signaling for Lincoln to go up, just lay up. He went off 2 feet and really just has to make the bucket. Especially, I mean, Woburn played it great, but against better competition, which we're going to see down the line here, you got to make that bucket, and you can't be giving up easy ones like that. Usually when you look over at Coach Woods, he's 100%. Like right when I saw Lincoln do that, I was like, "Ooh, you got to take that." Coach Woods was right on it, telling him, "Hey, you got to finish the different way than what you tried." Oh.
Mills a little bit strong on the pass, came in a little hot for Dingman. It's out of bounds, turnover Arlington.
Yeah, I think James was thinking about what he was going to do next instead of catching the ball. He peeked a little bit.
Yeah, he was lining up that 3. Woburn ball inbound in the corner.
I think also too with the top players here, sometimes a game like this that's getting away from the other squad is they know that their time is short, so they're trying to make the most of it and getting a little bit quick with their actions.
Woburn 3 is a little long, scramble for the ball. That's going to stay Woburn basketball. Dingman really hustling hard there to track that one down. Arlington leads by 21, 47-26, about halfway through the third quarter here. Good crowd in the gym tonight, Friday night here in Arlington, senior night for this boys varsity basketball game. That ball went over the top of the backboard, which must have hit something because otherwise that's still in bounds, but it'll be Arlington basketball. Trapotsis to inbound it, finds Mills.
Arlington's had good crowds all year. Students and family section has always been packed every game that we've had this year. Good defense by Woburn there.
Nice crossover from Dingman. Drives, finishes, and is fouled. He's just glides to the basket. Really smooth play and finish by James Dingman. He'll go to the line for one.
Yeah, it's good to see him get a couple of points up because I think it's going to be short-lived. I just don't see them playing him or Lincoln in the fourth quarter, and maybe pretty soon we're going to see them on the bench.
Woburn shuttles in a couple of new kids, keeping the legs fresh here for the second half stretch run. Dingman to the line for a single free throw to try to complete the three-point play. Shot's good.
Arlington back in their 1-2-2. They're going to trap these guys.
They do just get it over the line in under 10 seconds. Mills called for the foul. Just a little overly aggressive, I think, with the hands there. Foul trouble likely not an issue tonight, given the score. More of an issue from a clock perspective and keeping things moving.
Absolutely. Yeah, so they're back into that 1-2-2 zone. Going to pack it in, let Woburn beat them from the outside, which doesn't seem like it's going to happen. There it is.
And there's your guy, Matt Olson, deep three. He's got a nice looking stroke.
And willing to take it, which is half the battle.
Clarity to Trapotsis, finds Fudge, who gets it to who gets it to Mills down low. He's going to get fouled. Woburn was convinced they had a steal there. Referee didn't see it that way.
That's another one in a 20-point game that I would just swallow the whistle on.
Nico to inbound the ball on the baseline. Lofts it over to Mills.
Caden cleared someone out there. Oh.
No basket. I believe they're going to get Mills on a frustration foul and then follow-up technical.
That's the last guy you want to mess with, though. Caden Mills. He's got to keep his composure. It's okay.
Yeah, I think they were battling down low. You know, it was getting physical, and like you said, Tim, that's not necessarily a battle you're going to win if you're Woburn right now. Smart play by Dingman there, just going over and trying to calm his teammate down, stay between him and the referee. You don't want to see you know, anybody getting thrown out in a blowout here on senior night.
Right, and Caden's had a lot of physical matchups and a lot of you know, really intense games, so he doesn't fly off the handle. So whatever happened where he was provoked was probably something that he just was like, all right, he just crossed the line. And you know, a guy like him with as much pride as he has and as tough as he is, he's only going to take so much.
Jack Zambardino, number 5, checking in for Caden Mills. As Olson goes to the line for Woburn and hits both of the technical free throws. It'll be Woburn ball.
I could see Arlington getting a little upset that their senior captain just got into a little skirmish, probably got cheap shotted there. I wouldn't be surprised if they put a little pressure on Woburn here, a little more pressure.
As Woburn has cut the lead under 20 now for the first time in a while, 50-31. See how the Spy Ponders respond.
I think the intensity level is going to increase here.
Tough shot for Woburn. They get that one to go. A little bit of a test here for Arlington, which is good to see. And they're really hounding the ball. Clarity does a nice job just bringing it over. Finds Dingman, who drives into traffic. What's the call? I think that's going to be a blocking foul on Woburn.
Ooh. Yeah, the Woburn kids are willing to take the charge. He took position, gave up his body.
Yeah, and you know, they're doing what the team should do if you're down, right? You kind of muck up the game a little bit, make it a little bit
absolutely
a little bit dirty, and try to frustrate your opponent and claw your way back in the game, which, you know, to some extent they've done, now trailing by 17. Dingman gets the first one to go. Good free throw shooter for Arlington. He's not the guy you want going to the line if you're playing the Spy Ponders.
Absolutely. He's got good form, good release, takes his time.
Second shot for James, gets the shooter's roll. As we're under 2 minutes here in the third. Three-pointer for Woburn from the top of the key is good. And that's Ethan Samuel, freshman guard for Woburn. He's hit a couple for them now.
Yeah, they're
playing with a little bit of confidence.
Really well.
Yeah. Minute and a half left in the third. Florida uses a Trapocha screen. What's the call? I think we were going to have one referee calling a block, but the one on the baseline is going to call Clarity for a charge.
Yeah, Samuel's good at getting position there. He had his feet set. I like the call. It was a good call. I think Peters was a little out of control driving into the lane. Coach Woods is telling him that right now.
And Clarity and Dingman come out of the game, replaced by Alexi Trapotsis and number 4, Jonas Burrell. And we've got a travel on Arlington. Turning the ball over. Still a minute plus to go here in the third quarter as the game has kind of slowed down a little bit here. Burrell and Zambardino and Trapotsis doing a nice job handing off players at the top while maintaining the pressure. Tough shot for Woburn is missed, and the rebound collected by Lincoln Fudge, who finds Alexi Trapotsis. Burrell open for three, little strong. Great rebound by Zambardino, and he gets fouled. And he'll go to the line for 2 as both teams are in the bonus here.
Even though there was an open shot at that point, I think what Coach Woods would prefer in this situation is reverse the basketball, run your offense, maybe try to get Fudge an easy one or something off of the offense. They no need to take that shot right away.
Zambardino to the free throw line for 2. First one is good.
Samuel, he's been there, probably one of their best players, right?
Yeah, he's had a great game. I think maybe just getting a little bit of a break here, end of the third quarter to come in for the fourth.
Absolutely.
He's been using a lot of energy. Yeah, second shot.
Played really tough defense, too. His offense has been good, but his defense has been excellent.
Woburn 3, good, as they've started to shoot a little bit better, getting better looks.
Yeah, good set shooters.
Burrell in a little bit of trouble, but finds Trapotsis up top as the shot clock is off as we're under 20 seconds here in the third quarter. Fudge with the ball. Good drive. And great tip by Jack Zambardino. Right place, right time to get that one to go.
Excellent position.
Hail Mary 3 from the corner, no good for Woburn, and that'll do it for the third quarter. Arlington holding on to a 16-point lead, 55-39. And there again, Tim, we were talking about it. The offense sort of slowed down a little bit for Arlington. Woburn did a nice job mucking up the game. What do we have to do here? What does Arlington have to do here to close this one out in the fourth?
I think they got to dance with who they brought, and that's their defense, their signature defense, and pushing the ball up the floor. It seems like Woburn has some good quarter-court defense. They play good man-to-man defense. But when Arlington's in transition and they're going up and down the floor and getting some easy buckets, it's going to be tough for Woburn. But I give Woburn a ton of credit here. You know, being on the lower end of the league, playing against a team on the top end of the league, there's absolutely no quit. Now, anyone that knows anything about Woburn athletics knows that there would never be any quit in these Woburn Tanners. They just have a lot of pride in themselves and their athletics. But they just have played really tough. They're playing a lot of freshmen, and good for the Tanners tonight to come out here and make it a game.
Yeah, they're definitely getting a chance to get their young players in, get some good experience, and like you said, no quitting those guys, and this will pay dividends for them down the road.
Absolutely.
Arlington lineup as we start the fourth quarter: Nico Trapotsis, Jonas Burrell, Lincoln Fudge, Alexi Trapotsis, and Jack Zambardino in the game. Fudge for three. It's good. That was a deep three for Lincoln. He didn't hesitate.
Probably one of the better shooters in the league, if not the best.
Tough drive as Woburn's number 21, Jacoby Altman, is going to get fouled and go to the free throw line for two.
On that one, you're going to foul him. You might as well make sure that he doesn't get the ball up either. You already committed yourself to fouling. Make sure he doesn't hit the bunny.
First one rattles around and drops to get Woburn to 40. Arlington leading by 18 now. Second shot's down as Woburn subs for the shooter, and that'll put number 25, Ethan Samuel, back in the game.
A smart move, subbing for the shooter. You get to set up your press.
Nico inbounds it to his brother, who finds Burrell. Gets it back out to Nico. Over to Zambardino, open for three. Nice looking shot.
Nice shot by Zach. That was a really good ball movement there and get the open shot.
Great defense by Alexi and Lincoln.
Oh, nice pass.
Great dish and another bucket for Zambardino. 5 quick points for him.
Jack's played really well tonight. He's played some good defense. He's made some good buckets. Got a couple rebounds, couple nice passes, doing a little bit of everything.
And the Spy Ponders have really turned up the defensive intensity here. That's going to stay Woburn basketball. A smaller lineup for Arlington right now, but an active lineup for Arlington.
Absolutely, these guys are going to get out. You got both Trapotsis out there, so right there, there's a two-man press going right there. But Burrell and Zambudi are really good on defense as well, so they have more of a defensive lineup in here.
Ball was tipped, so no double dribble. But Burrell with a great job forcing the turnover, finds Alexi, who gets the ball to Lincoln, takes it to the basket, gets fouled on the blocking foul. I believe they're going to give him 2 shots on this one, as he was into his move, and yeah, he'll go to the line for 2 free throws.
Also a really good free throw shooter. Something that's going to be necessary down the line towards the end of the season.
First one up and good. Nothing but net for Fudge.
Yeah, you want your really good players that are going to have the ball at the end of the game to be good free throw shooters, because in these tight tournament games that are going to come up, you got to figure that Fudge and Digman are going to have the ball at the end of the game and in tight games, and you want those guys on the line making their frees.
Under 6.5 here to go in the ball game. Arlington forces a tough shot, air ball for Woburn, and they're going to get out and run as Trapotsis is able to find Burrell. Couldn't quite get it to go. Does keep it in bounds for a moment, out of bounds off Trapotsis to Woburn.
That was a great pass by Nico Trapotsis, and he just didn't take his time underneath. He could have really got an easy one.
Arlington has pushed the lead back to 23, leading 64-41. The Trapotsis press is on. Oh, and they couldn't quite force the turnover. They're going to get called for a touch foul. Just the second one of the quarter.
I think Coach Woods wanted a little more rotation there. They had the ball stopped, but they think they needed some secondary pressure on the rotation there. Nice move.
Great move, great finish. That was excellent defense, but Woburn was able to drive to the left and get that bucket to go.
You know, with Woburn being, as we said, just a couple wins and a lot of losses, they had some good players. Just young, they're going to develop. It's not like the cupboard's bare and this thing's going to be a disaster. These guys are going to be good down the line.
Olsen, quick trigger, misses that one. Fudge with the rebound, up to Trapotsis.
I like how Arlington's trying to push the basketball. They're not going to just try to, here we go, easy bucket. Oh.
Fudge with the offensive rebound and kick out, can't get it to go. Zambardino's going to get called for the blocking foul and then take a little bit of punishment after the whistle.
Good hustle. Good defense.
I like that. Stop the break.
Yeah, you got a couple of fouls to waste there. They're not in the bonus, so.
Arlington content to stay in the zone and force Woburn to try to attack, which they try to do, but they're going to get called for a travel turnover back to Arlington.
Too many pivot feet there.
Under 5 here to go in the fourth quarter. Burrell to bring the ball up for the Spy Ponders. Good strong handle. He finds Trapotsis. Gets the ball to Lincoln up top.
Good ball movement here by Arlington.
Patiently looking for the shot. It's going to be Nico Trapotsis for 3. No good. Another possession with, I don't know, double-digit passes as Arlington takes their time working around for a great shot. Woburn can't finish the bunny. They do get the offensive rebound. They'll get another chance. And there's Olsen for 3. No good. Not sure I've seen him dribble the ball tonight.
I like his attitude. He might be coming out again, though. He's got to bend his knees a little bit more from when he's out there and get a little more arc on the shot if you're going to jack a 23, 24-footer.
And that's going to be an offensive foul on Fudge. I think the referee saw a little bit of a lean into the defender to create some space. Lincoln not sure about it, but that's the way it's going to go.
So we got Mills and Dingman and Clardy coming back in.
As Coach Woods probably just want to keep them, in sync, keep the timing right for the game on Sunday. Give them a little bit more run here.
The refs didn't like the substitution. I think they thought that they came in a little too early, but all in all, it's still a substitution.
So Mills, Dingman, Clardy back into the game alongside Zambardino and Nico Trapotsis. Under 4 minutes to go here in the game. Arlington with a comfortable 21-point lead. Trapotsis with a great steal, pushes up ahead to Dingman, who finds Zambardino.
Nice
bucket.
Pass by James. Unselfish play.
He's had a number of really nice assists tonight as well.
Yeah, usually a guy like that, one of the leading scorers in the league, looking to pad his stats, but he's not that type of player. He's just a good team player. And that shows you there, passing the ball there, sort of in garbage time. And it says a lot about him and the team in general.
Trapotsis inbounds, gets the ball back, finds Mills up ahead. Trapozis for three. Count it.
Nico's having a good shooting night tonight.
Woburn quickly into their offense, but Arlington does a nice job getting back and forcing a reset. Nice strong finish there. Number 11 for Woburn, Matt Cavino. .24 lead for the Spy Ponders, under 3 to go. As Mills will patiently back his way down. Oh, they were zigging and zagging at the wrong times there. Thought Clardy was going to come back to the corner. Turnover Arlington. Senior Drew Carmen back into the game, replacing Nico Trapozis. Believe we've got a Woburn timeout. Talking things over and game strategy, giving his younger players a chance to work on a few things here with a couple minutes to go here, Tim.
Yeah, I'm not for it. Just let him play. I understand why he's doing it, but holy cow.
So just as a reminder, this is senior night, so there will be some presentations after the game for a couple of the senior boys on the varsity basketball team, along with, I believe, three senior cheerleaders on the cheerleading squad. So we will be bringing that to you live as well. And following the senior night ceremonies, the girls varsity basketball team will be taking on Woburn here at Arlington High School. Tip-off expected a little bit later than originally planned, but it'll be on this live stream, so stay with us. The girls game will be played on this channel right after the senior night ceremony.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, Arlington having such a great year and only having 2 seniors. Holy cow, is the future bright for Arlington basketball. Yeah, we were watching the JV game there, a couple of younger JV players that would be varsity players on other programs, just that it's too much of a backlog because there's so many good players here in Arlington. So there's a lot in the pipeline. They got great coaching, great kids. So good things ahead for the Spy Ponders.
Scramble for the ball. Mills ends up with it. Swings it to Dingman. Finds Zambardino. As Arlington wisely just brings the ball out to run a little bit of clock here. Mills to Dingman.
They're calling that ball screen, so he did that before. I think Fudge did that before. So they're setting a ball screen on the reverse, but he's not coming to a stop. It is actually a good call. He's got to come to a stop and then do that. Ball screen, super, it's a super good strategy, but you have to stop. You can't just run someone over. Effective play. Oh.
Nice defense by Arlington, and senior Drew Carmen there forcing a turnover. Ball will go back to the Spy Ponders, up 24, just over 2 minutes here to go in the game. Zambardino inbounds to Clardy.
You can tell Woburn has good coaching too. Just the way that these guys are playing on the ball defense. I mean, all their players, they play really tough man-to-man defense and good fundamentally sound team. Just just too young and don't have the experience and the ability that the Arlington guys. But these guys are going to be around for a while, and they're going to have some good years coming up.
Clardy finds Dingman, who fires it over to Drew. That's going to be out of bounds. A little bit sloppy here at the end.
I think they're looking for Drew, trying to get him a couple more buckets on senior night. I think that was James's idea right there, because he could have taken it to the hoop. In a more competitive game or a more competitive environment, you would have seen him take that to the hoop. But it's good to get your buddy some buckets on senior night.
Absolutely.
Nice take.
Mills aggressively blocked that shot. He thought it was clean. I think the referee, anytime you have the arm coming down hard like that, the default is to get the foul call, but looked like a pretty good block from here.
Yeah, he got a lot of ball. He might have gotten a little bit of the top of his head, too. Caden's trying to plead his case.
First free throw for Woburn is banked in.
I think if he hit him too hard, he might not have gotten up as quick, so maybe there was a little bit to it.
Nice round of applause for Caden Mills coming out of the game on senior night, replaced by Cam Levine, number 20. Second free throw for Woburn is no good, and Dingman collects the rebound. Pushes it up ahead. Zambardino to Clorty.
There you go.
Steal for Woburn and finish.
Once again, no quitting the Tanners.
They're going to play right up till the end, and they're still pressing. Arlington does a nice job of breaking that. Clorty with no trouble finds Dingman, and we have less than a minute to go. Ponders up 21. Maybe one more attempt for Drew Carmen if we can do it on senior night. Dingman drives. He's going to take the little floater. No good. Woburn rebounds. Dingman with the nice hands, nice steal.
Nice pass.
Finds Clorty. Clean block by number 22 for Woburn.
30 seconds left. I take Dingman out. Good. Nope.
Clorty is replaced by Burrell. No shot clock. Arlington can dribble out the basketball if they want to, assuming Woburn decides not to foul, which they shouldn't.
Nice pass.
And that's the one shot that you're allowed to take on senior night when you're up by 20, is if you are a senior and you get the ball under the basket.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, Drew Carmen couldn't get that one to go. It'll be Arlington basketball, 16 plus seconds left. Almost gets a turnover, but it'll stay Arlington basketball, and that might do it. Drew Carmen, senior Drew Carmen with the ball, passes it out to Burrell. The clock's going to wind down, and that's going to do it for the Spy Ponders. Final score tonight, 69-48. Another win. Arlington moves to 13-3. They have 4 games remaining. They're going to be back in action on the road on Super Bowl Sunday afternoon to take on Waltham, which we anticipate to be a much tougher matchup. We may have Coach Woods join us and maybe a player for some post-game interviews. So stand by for that. And as I mentioned, there will be some short presentations for the seniors. But Tim, closing thoughts on the game and the rest of the season. What do we look ahead for?
The rest of the season looks super promising. Arlington's really coming into the peak of their performance. Their offense is balanced with Fudge, Dingman, Clardy and Mills all scoring, and then the bench playing well, and then their defense is exceptional. I mean, they play such good defense and rebounding, so that they're going to have a good run. And tonight is just one of those games where you just have to take care of business and do what you've been doing. And I give Woburn a lot of credit for hanging in there, playing tough to the end. They were outmanned, outmatched. However, they played with a much younger team, but like no quitting them, and Arlington did what they had to do and got another really good win. And it was also really good to see both seniors play a lot and play well. So they're going to honor these guys tonight, and they deserve it.
Great stuff, Tim. Awesome game for the Spy Ponders. For Tim Hoffman and Meredith Lamont on the camera, I'm Lewis McCulloch, wishing you a good night and a great weekend. Please stay tuned for the senior night ceremony, and following those celebrations, we'll be bringing you the girls' varsity basketball game.
And now this time, let's please recognize 3 members of our cheerleading squad. Our first cheerleader is Captain Keely Smith. Our next senior is Captain Kayla Edwards. Kayla is accompanied by her parents Nina and Jake, sister Karis, and Coach Sarah. Once again, please recognize Captain Kayla Edwards. And our final senior tonight is Amelia Lippman.
Oh my God, I'm so sad. It's bad, bro. I should have got our video.
Why did you look mad?
Once again, thank you to all our senior student athletes for their contributions throughout their high school career. And after the captains, the boys basketball team turn to the microphone to draw the winner of the raffle. featuring an MIAA Middle 6 League girls varsity game featuring Woburn High School and your Arlington Spy Pond. Just a friendly reminder that participating student athletes, coaches, and contest officials have worked diligently to prepare for today's competition. Please show your appreciation by demonstrating good sportsmanship and respect for all in attendance. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion shall not be tolerated and will subsequently violate the rejection and exclusion from future games. This could include using player names and their jersey numbers, or the calling out of officials and coaches for any reason. We ask all spectators to feel positively for their team, support the players' hard work from high school athletes, coaches, and officials. And now at this time, let's meet the starting lineups for both programs. First for the visitors from Woburn. Starting guard, the senior number 15, Riley Morgan. Also guard, junior number 13, Jordan Hunt. And guard, junior number 1, McKenna Harrison. Your head coach is Stephen Sullivan. And now at this time, let's meet the starting lineup for your Arlington Spy Pond. Starting one guard, senior number 21, Lily Paul. Starting the other guard is sophomore number 1, Avery Spector. Also in guard, junior number 5, Louise Mueller. Starting at 1 for the sophomore number 11, Elena O'Hagan. And starting the other for the junior number 14, Elena Nicole. Your assistant coaches for Arlington are Pauline King, Don Pazia, Joe Pazia, and your head coach is Mark Anderson. And now this time we please ask you to rise to honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Good evening and welcome to Arlington High School for this girls varsity basketball game between Woburn High School and your Arlington Spy Ponders. My name is Lewis McCulloch alongside Jeff Spector with Phil Ryan on the camera, and we'd like to thank ACMi Sports for the use of the equipment to bring today's game to you live. Tonight, the Spy Ponders can expect a tough matchup against one of the best teams in MIAA Division I. Woburn comes in with a record of 14-2. They're ranked third in the state, and their only 2 losses of the season are against state powerhouse Bishop Feehan. Arlington faced off against Woburn earlier this season, losing on the road by a score of 55-29. Woburn is loaded with talent, including 3 returning league all-stars from last season, junior Shannon McCarthy and junior McKenna Morrison. The Spy Ponders come in with a record of 2 wins and 13 losses. They're coming off a loss on Tuesday to Reading after their huge upset win at home against Belmont last Friday. Jeff, good evening. Hope you had a good week. What are your thoughts as we get this game underway?
Hey, Lewis. What do I think? I think Woburn is big. I think they're fast. I think they're fundamentally solid. I think this is going to be an uphill battle all night. Number one takeaway for me, I want to see the girls break 40 tonight. I know the defense is going to be there. I know the defense is going to show up. I want to see the offense. I want to see the offense get going. I think that's going to help us if we can get it going tonight. That's going to help us in the next few games.
So Woburn won the tip as McCarthy goes to work. Lily Paul with the rebound, and we'll set the starting lineup for you. Senior captain Lily Paul, along with 2 juniors, Alina McCulloch and Wheezy Mueller, share the court with 2 sophomores, Melina O'Hagan and Avery Spector. Spector finds McCulloch, drives, kicks it out to Lily, who finds O'Hagan up top. She'll drive and kick it back out to Paul. Good offensive possession so far for the Spy Ponders. McCulloch finds O'Hagan, couldn't quite get her feet set. That's going to be a travel turnover for Arlington. Starting lineup for Woburn, number 15, Riley Morgan, number 31, Shannon McCarthy, number 1, McKenna Morrison, number 22, Brooke Tizzulo. Start for the Tanners. And really, Jeff, you know, as we've seen the last time Arlington played Woburn, the combination of McCarthy in low and guard McKenna Morrison outside is a dynamic duo for the Tanners.
Yeah, you can't say enough positive things about this Woburn team. They can beat you outside. They can beat you inside. They can beat you in transition. They can beat you however you want to play. I mean, there's a reason why they've rolled everybody they've played except for Bishop Fien. And by most accounts, Bishop Fien is just, they're the best team in the state. But the truth is, Bishop Fien isn't in the gym tonight. Woburn is, and we got our hands full.
So Arlington starts in their man-to-man defense. And good start with the turnover. I would say your point, Jeff, at the beginning about a goal of getting to 40. I think, you know, the lower scoring the game, the better off for Arlington. Maybe the more mucky, the more murky it is, the better for Arlington. We just got to hang in there and stay tough.
Yeah. Yep. Keep them within arm's reach, knock down a couple shots, and really try to find some of those mid-range jumpers. With Woburn's size, it's going to be hard to finish at the rim.
Another good possession, unfortunately, ends in a turnover for Arlington. You know, Woburn's defense is also good. They're not just a good offensive team. We're going to have to be strong with the ball. A couple good passes there, just couldn't quite connect. Excellent finish by number 1, Morrison, as she'll go to the line, getting the first bucket of the night for Woburn as they lead here early, 2-0.
Yeah, to your point, Lewis, when you get those looks and you can make those slip passes, we have to catch, we have to finish. They just can't lead to turnovers.
I believe that's going to be the second foul on McCulloch, and she's replaced by Eileen Lucas. Free throw up and no good, and Spector collects the rebound. Pushes it up ahead to Mueller, who finds Paul open for 3, takes it, doesn't get it to go. That's gonna be Woburn basketball.
I agreed with your initial sentiment that was going to be staying at this end. The refs are just warming up tonight.
It's an interesting dynamic here. We've got a 3-man referee crew tonight. My understanding is that is to get ready for the playoffs, in which all of the crews are 3-person crews. And so this is just a end-of-season game where they're practicing kind of the mechanisms and the movements with 3 referees. We'll see if that turns into more favorable calls for Arlington or not. We'll see. And there we've got a travel on McCarthy. I don't think she realized that she had collected the ball and then shuffled her feet. So turnover, back to Arlington. Woburn applies pressure. Mueller up to Lucas, who finds O'Hagan. Spector open for three. And Morrison collects the ball for the Tanners. Good steal by Mueller. Back on defense. Arlington doing a nice job there of recovering. Up ahead to Spector, who finds O'Hagan. She'll challenge McCarthy, who blocks the shot. It'll stay out of bounds. Remains Arlington basketball on the baseline.
Great pass. That was a really good pass. But that's a perfect example of Woburn's size. We get the ball in the right spot, but with that size, they can just sort of wipe away the opportunity.
Mueller into Lucas, finds Spector, drives left, kicks it to Paul. Arlington working the ball around nicely. Mueller gets caught, but is able to find Paul. As Arlington works the ball around. Good catch by Lucas to corral that. Finds Spector open for three again. She'll take it. Good look. Nice hustle by O'Hagan to get in there, tie up McCarthy. That's going to be Arlington basketball as the Tanners won the tip to start the game. Mueller just had that one unfortunately slip out of her hands. She's trying to find O'Hagan down low. Morrison takes the three, misses. And the height of Woburn collects an offensive rebound. They're going to fire it into McCarthy. Great job by Paul, dropping down to help O'Hagan on the defense, forcing the ball back out for the Tanners. And Morrison, as she did in the first matchup, decides to take it upon herself, drive in for two. And she can really finish around the basket.
Yeah, she's very comfortable. You could just see it. I mean, it's just a nice little finger roll. Didn't think twice about it. And she's done it thousands of times before. Or at least hundreds.
Mueller sets, waits for the screen from O'Hagan. Takes a three. Off back rim. As Morrison drives in, doesn't get it to go, but Woburn's there to collect the offensive rebound. And Coach Martinelli is going to take a timeout to talk things over. On the positive side, Arlington's doing a nice job of getting shots, getting back. On the negative side, unfortunately, some of those shots just haven't fallen for us yet, and Woburn is collecting offensive rebounds and making second chances, and that's the difference. As Arlington is down early here, 6-0. We've played over 4 minutes here in the first quarter. Only giving up 6 to this team is impressive.
It's a great start.
It's a great start on the defensive side. It's offensive rebounding and putting some shots in.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating to have only given up 6 points, and yet we're down 6 points. And even worse, right? 4 of the 6 have come on second chance opportunities, and part of what creates that, obviously, is because of Woburn's size and speed, we frequently throw a second body over and help, which is completely natural. But then we're completely outmanned underneath trying to grab the rebounds. And again, with their size, the ball's naturally going to bounce that way some portion of the time. And so that's been 2 of their buckets. So defensively, we've come out really strong. The turnovers have been more than reasonable. We have to score.
And so Coach Martinelli making a change to the starting lineup, bringing in a little more size, replacing Captain Lily Paul with Captain Gianna Palillo.
Shame on me for talking about the turnovers being under control.
As Woburn gets 2 turnovers. Nice job by Eileen Lucas to save that one for Arlington, as she'll break the press and get the ball to Mueller. Will drive in and finish. A nice lefty finish by Mueller. We really needed that to get the lid off the rim and get our first points, losing 8-2 now. It's going to be an over and back. Great job, great hustling by Captain Palillo, forcing the turnover on Woburn. Arlington basketball out of bounds.
Surprised with some of the loose turnovers from Woburn in the first 4 minutes. A little bit unlike them.
Yeah, and credit to Arlington's defense for playing aggressively and playing hard, matching the intensity early on here. Mueller uses the O'Hagan screen, finds Lucas, who finds Spector. Does a good job maintaining possession, finds Mueller, kicks it down to O'Hagan. That shot not quite strong enough to get over the top of the Woburn defense as McCarthy drives through Eileen Lucas, who did a nice job standing in against the bigger player.
That was brave.
Forced the miss. You know, Shannon got our offensive rebound, got the ball back, but no damage done at this point on this possession.
I mean, that size mismatch, even as Shannon sort of did the step around and step through, Eileen still paid the price on it.
Good for Lucas, tough player, stood in there. Morrison drive and kick, open three for Woburn is good, and that's what they're going to do. That's just quality basketball. One of the best players in the league driving and getting an open three-point shot for her teammate. O'Hagan finds Mueller. Wheezy being hounded up top, finds O'Hagan. She'll drive. That's going to stay Arlington basketball as the ball bounced off of a Tanner foot. Mueller to inbound the ball on the baseline. Arlington trails 11-2.
And Woburn just keeps coming with waves. I mean, they just keep subbing in fresh player after fresh player after fresh player, which really allows them to keep their intensity at the highest possible level.
Spector finds Mueller, who drives. Can't get that one to go, but she'll collect her own offensive rebound. Find Palillo. Kick it back out to Mueller. Ponder's doing a little bit better job here on the glass, collecting a couple of offensive rebounds. Spector probes the defense, brings it back out, and finds Mueller. Open for three, she'll take it. Long shot, in and out, and that rim is not being friendly to Arlington here at home early. Nice job by Avery forcing the kick out. Unfortunately, Woburn's going to hit that three and get the turnover and finish. And Jeff, I think the waves of quality of Woburn are starting to take an early toll here. Tough shot by Lucas. Woburn collects the rebound, leading by 15 now. Great job by Lucas. She didn't get the offensive foul, but she did force the turnover, as she has just really stuck her nose in there twice now against a very impressive player in Shannon McCarthy.
Absolutely. And again, that's hard. That's hard in a sport like basketball. You know, when I don't know how much taller Shannon is, but I mean, Shannon has a lot of height on her, and you just know if you stand there and try to take that charge, you're going to get beat up. But she's done it. She's gone for it twice. So huge props.
And we've got some substitutions in for the Spy Ponders. Sammy Walsh and Lily Paul and Alina McCulloch back into the game for Arlington. Sammy's first action of the night. Good to see her on the court. Another three-point weapon for the Spy Ponders. McCulloch drives, collects her offensive rebound, goes right back up, and just the lid remains on that bucket, and we can't get anything to fall. Martinelli frustrated with no call there. I think he felt McCulloch was fouled at least once. Three-point shot for Woburn is good. And that's number 22, junior Brooke Tozzolo. Paul to McCulloch. Up to Walsh, who finds O'Hagan. Shoots a last-second shot at the buzzer, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Tanner's open up a little bit of a lead there, a little bit of a gap, leading 19-2 after one. While we have a break in the action, I'd like to remind everyone that this is an ACMi sports production. Numerous Arlington High School sports games and events are filmed by ACMi Sports and made possible by both student and parent volunteers. If you're interested in helping to produce, film, commentate, and/or edit the games, please reach out to us at sports@acmi.tv to find out how you can gain experience and learn sports production while bringing more sports content to the Arlington community. Well, Jeff, on a night of wildly different swings coming off the boys' senior night blowout victory over the Woburn boys basketball team. A little bit of a different story here, as we sort of figured the girls varsity team was going to have a little bit bigger of a challenge ahead of them. Sort of what we expected. Woburn, lots of talent, lots of ability, and lots of size, and they raced out to a 19-2 lead.
Yeah, not a lot of positives. I mean, we were talking about how 4 minutes in, we'd only given up 6. So in the last 4, they ran off 13. Sterling started knocking down some threes, creating turnovers on the full court press, easy layups. It's frustrating at this point. I mean, quite simply, we have to do a better job against the press. We have to be stronger on the ball when we get the ball in the paint offensively. And ultimately, we got to put the ball in the hoop. You gotta hit a shot. And again, they don't have to all be threes.
Nice job, Paul, finding Lucas on the baseline, who spins. She's going to get fouled on the way up. She'll go to the line for 2. And you know, maybe this is what we need, Jeff. You know, go to the free throw line, see the ball go through the net, open up, let everybody take a deep breath and settle down.
Definitely.
First shot for Lucas is good. Second shot rims out. Walsh makes an attempt at the offensive rebound. Woburn's going to get it. Good defense, good hands by Lucas. Woburn's able to settle in. Morrison for 3, no good. McCulloch with the box out and rebound. That was better on the Arlington side. Oh, unlucky there. Turnover for Arlington. 3-pointer for Woburn. Misses, and yes, we're going to get an out-of-bounds call on Woburn. The referee was taking his time to make sure that the foot was actually on the line. Mueller replaces Walsh for Arlington. Paul finds Mueller, who gets it back to Paul. Up ahead to McCulloch. Into O'Hagan. Finds Lucas on the drive. Can't control it, and it's going to be out of bounds.
Another good example. I think Melina made a really smart play there, just knowing from a physicality standpoint, she'd have a hard time getting that one, you know, through the defensive player and up. She found the cutter, just didn't handle the ball. But it was the right decision. It was a good pass.
Good hand and good anticipation by McCulloch. She'll drive. She'll finish and get fouled.
Great take.
Great take by McCulloch. Good pass up ahead. Good tip.
And what was really impressive about that, right? She has the defensive player trailing her the whole way. She's in a full sprint with the ball. And yet at the last second, she's able to slow down, control the body, disassociate the arm and the hand from the body, which is going as hard as it can for a nice soft finish.
Free throw for McCulloch is up and down. 3-point play completed, and Arlington has cut the lead to 13, trailing 19-6 now. Great defensive pressure being applied across the board by Arlington right now. And we're going to get a touch foul called on Arlington, which is a tough break. Mueller fights over the screen. O'Hagan challenged. That's a 2-point shot. No good. Good box out by Paul. And really nice job by Lily there to rip the ball. It's going to be a foul on Shannon McCarthy. And again, I don't think that happens, Jeff, unless Lily spins and rips the ball, and then all of a sudden McCarthy's behind her, and that's a foul. It has to be a foul from behind.
Exactly. Can't bear hug to get a tie up.
Paul finds Mueller, swings it over to Lucas, as Arlington is doing a much better job, I almost jinxed it, of breaking the press. The ball will remain Arlington's on the sideline, out of bounds, as Coach Steven Sullivan continues to rotate in bodies for the Tanners. Lucas finds O'Hagan, hands off to Mueller, swings it out to McCulloch. She drives. She kept her hand on top of the ball, but the referee decided that was a carry.
Totally agree with you again. I mean, it was a high dribble, and you can see it, but the hand was on top of the ball the whole time. I mean, it's not what she was aiming to do, but that's also not a carry.
Great defense by Spectra on Morrison, forces the pass. However, that's an open three, and Woburn's been dangerous from three-point range. Thankfully, they missed that one. McCulloch collects the rebound, gets the ball over half court. Waits for the screen to come. Can't find O'Hagan on the dive, so she kicks it to Lucas, who finds Mueller up top, who lobs it over the top to O'Hagan. That's a tough pass. It's a narrow window there for that play. You can see it's open, but everything has to go perfectly for that ball to land in. Tough break for Arlington on that one. Isabella Jardine into the game for Arlington for the first time tonight as she battles down low. Forcing Arlington defense forcing a errant shot. Unfortunately, we can't turn that into any offense, as that's going to be a turnover for the Spy Ponders.
Great hands by Woburn. That was really nice defensive play.
Great hands by Arlington there, forcing Woburn into some uncomfortable offensive situations. Spectra and Lucas doing a really nice job. That's going to be Arlington basketball. And it's fantastic defense, just a lot of switching, a lot of handing off of the players. Eileen Lucas and Avery Spectra just looked locked in there on that defensive possession.
Love seeing them get after other teams like that. And the scary part, where I think sometimes you can get the wrong impression, is like against a team like Woburn, at times we look slow, or we look slower than them.
And I think the referee is going to call travel. Avery, it looked like she'd gotten the ball out of her hands. Maybe her pivot foot came up. Tough break. Jeff, I'm telling you right now, I'm not loving the three ref mechanism.
We were better with two.
It seems like they've decided if there's three of us, we're going to call three times as many calls. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the evening. Great
nice
box out by Mueller. That's going to be over the back on number 24 for Woburn. Again, another nice defensive possession, for Arlington, as we've kept Woburn stuck on 19 for quite a while here, Jeff.
Yeah. There was that one short flurry with the press where, 3-4 turnovers in a row. And then, of course, they hit a couple threes on top of it.
Unfortunately, it's just, we can't get it turned into offense to kind of cut this gap. It's going to stay 13, Woburn ball now, as Lily Paul has checked back into the game. Good double team of McCarthy. She does a nice job kicking out for an open three. Doesn't go, and McCulloch is able to collect the rebound and find Jardine, who gets it up to Mueller. And we'll see if the Spy Ponders can't get a good shot out of this possession. McCulloch drives to her left, fades away, gets knocked to the ground, no call. Morrison drives, misses, and that's going to be called on Arlington. It was called on Spectre, and number 24, that is Amari Williams, a senior captain for Woburn, to the line for two. Shot is no good.
The other thing that would be interesting here, too, just like you were commenting earlier when Eileen went to the line, Woburn's at 4 fouls. We're going to go to the line for the last 4 minutes if we can just continue to stay aggressive and, if the refs want to blow the whistle a couple times against Woburn.
Second shot is no good. McCarthy, offensive rebound, and
that's a killer.
Gets fouled. That's a killer. She'll go to the line for two. A very good shooter. for a center. First shot is up and good, and that's the first points for the second quarter for Woburn, Jeff. Arlington doing a heck of a job of playing defense. Just, you know, I think burning a ton of energy on that side of the ball, paying for it a little bit on the offensive side.
Yeah.
Second shot's down for McCarthy.
Definitely a fair point. If you're going to play defense at that intensity, it's going to make it, your jump shots become a little bit harder. The three-pointers are certainly harder. You don't cut quite as well. And then sometimes your decision-making isn't quite as solid.
Woburn turnover does not lead to any points for them. Mueller finds Paul, who drives and finishes. Nice attack there. Great bucket for Lilly. 21-8 is the Woburn lead.
I like how Lilly recognized there was no big down low and just took it right to the rim.
O'Hagan has replaced McCulloch in the game for Arlington. And in the loose ball battle, I believe that's going to be a foul on, who did they call that on, Jeff? I didn't see. They called it on Avery? To me, that's a no call, but it's just multiple players going hard for the basketball. It's a loose ball situation. You know, I don't see one player fouling over another one there. Woburn with a nice inbound play, easy two for them. We've got just over 3 minutes left here in the half. Woburn leads 23-8. Paul finds Mueller, gets it to O'Hagan down low. She goes up. Good defense by Woburn. Tough shot. And they're quickly back into their offense. Morrison finds number 22, Brooke Tizzolo. She hits another three. Mueller to Jardine. Back to Mueller. Saw Lucas down low, but it was a tip-tip situation. That's going to be Tanner basketball. As we wind down the first half here, we'd just like to welcome in our West Coast viewers. Thanks to those of you joining us from Seattle, Washington, and Denver, Colorado. Hope you've had a good week and are enjoying the game. Woburn with an easy bucket.
Total breakdown.
Yeah, a little bit of a breakdown there, which is tough off of turnovers. You know, it's scrambling back and finding out, you know, who your player is a challenge, and Woburn's making Arlington pay for that. Sammy Walsh back in the game along with Gianna Palillo. Gianna drives and is going to get called for the travel. A lot of contact there. Zoe DeAngelis into the game for Jardine. And Lucas replaces Mueller. No, Mueller stays on the court, so we have 5. That's going to be a travel on Woburn.
For a minute there, I thought the coach would come up with a new defense, and we were going to really confuse him and just throw 4 at him.
So Hoosiers moment there. My team is on the court. Spector.
Great reference, by the way.
Spector now checks in for Mueller. Good fake and drive by Spector. No call, it's just going to be out of bounds. And Coach Martinelli seems baffled by the lack of calls. Again, 3 refs on the court. Seems like somebody should have saw that, should have seen that. 3-pointer for Woburn is up. No good. McCarthy collects the offensive rebound. Gets the shot blocked. Another offensive rebound, and just too big, too strong for Arlington to handle right there. Puts it in. Lucas sets the offense now. Finds Palillo. Up top to Zoe. Finds Sammy for 3. Nope, she's gonna pump fake and move it to Spector. Lucas drives left.
Nice take.
Great take, great finish. Nice job for Lucas. She's going to get fouled and go to the line to attempt to finish the old-fashioned three-point play.
Real subtle difference on that. So Eileen takes that one, even though Shannon's waiting for her. She was still finishing going towards the rim, knew she had to go high off the glass, so she goes high and soft. A lot of times, it's not just Eileen, it's any of these girls, they go hard, they see a big waiting down there, and instead of finishing at the rim or towards the player, they start fading back away and they just throw the ball up. You don't get the call, and the ball has no shot at going in. So, again, really nice, strong finish.
Lucas can't get the free throw to go, and we are under a minute to go here in the first half. Woburn with a 22-point lead. Open three for Woburn. And they're just going to keep coming at you. They've got players on the bench. They've got players that I believe are sitting with the varsity who were on the JV team tonight. Also a very talented squad. And that's going to be a foul on number 11, and Eileen will go back to the line for two. First one no good. Eileen will go to the line for two for her second. No shot clock as we're under 35 seconds to go here in the first half. Woburn a little bit frantic, but again, that's just quality. Morrison collects the ball, finds a teammate cutting to the basket for the finish. Steal for Woburn. That's going to be a travel or a double dribble, your call. It'll stay Arlington basketball. 11 seconds, just under 11 seconds to go here in the first half. Lob play into Juliana. Nice job. Great pass by Spector. She put a little zip on that one to get it there, so Gianna had time to catch it and finish. Nice steal by Zoe, and that'll do it for the first half. Good close by Arlington to get a bucket and hold Woburn there. Despite that, Arlington trails by 25 here at the half. We're going to take a break. The stream will keep going, and Jeff and I will be back to give you the third quarter in a few minutes. Welcome back to Arlington High School as we are about to get the third quarter underway. Arlington trailing by 25 against Woburn. Let's see, starting lineup is the same as it was to begin the game. Senior captain Lily Paul joining juniors Wheezy Mueller and Alina McCulloch, and sophomores Melina O'Hagan and Avery Spector. I believe we're waiting for the referees, all three of them, to emerge.
They got lost.
To get this game underway. Maybe they thought the game was over.
or they're touring the new school.
Or they got lost in the new school. Yeah, Jeff, so, you know, we talked a little bit off air here. We expected a tough matchup. Woburn is a fantastic team. All credit to them. Talent-wise, coaching-wise, ability-wise, the way they're playing, clearly a class above where the Spy Ponders are right now. It's where Spy Ponders are trying to get, right? In a game like this, if you were the coach, and I know you've coached some teams before, what are you doing at halftime? What's the mentality? How are you getting your team ready to finish this game out?
It's an awesome question. It's and there's no easy answer to it. You need to be uplifting. You need to be positive. At the same point, as the refs make their way back on the court, you need to be realistic, right? Like, you can't go in there and pretend that what just happened over the last 16 minutes didn't happen. Arlington went out and got their butt kicked, despite, you know, you could draw some positives out of what they did. And so you want to accentuate those. You want to make sure the girls play hard for the last 16. You certainly don't want to see them mail it in. We have some important games coming up over the next week and a half or 2 weeks. But it's hard. When you're faced with a game where you're just down that many that quick, it's just a very hard conversation. And but the challenge is just keeping the girls mentally and physically engaged and make sure they keep fighting.
Nice beginning defensively there as Arlington forces a miss and is able to collect the rebound, keeping Woburn to a single shot that possession. I think that's going to be a key and something that Martinelli's going to be looking for here in the second half. Better rebounding, defensive rebounding for Arlington, and maybe cutting down on the turnovers. Just, you know, playing basketball, getting comfortable, and getting back to basics.
Yeah, and the more they can, you know, and I feel like we always talk about this, but the more they can just... I always forget about the bank being open so late on a Friday in Arlington.
You know, we've talked about that before. I'm not sure Woburn understood that, but clearly Shannon was paying attention. She banks one in to get Woburn to 40. And everything's going the Tanners' way at this point.
Good look inside again.
Yeah, the plays there, it's, you know, it's like we said before in the first half, Jeff. A couple of things have to go right for that to work, and in that case, a little bit hard pass and just literally couldn't quite gather it in. It was open for a second.
Yeah, and as much as anything else, I mean, what's important, and you can definitely see it in the first half, there were just so many plays that Arlington rushed by a half a beat, and as much as the girls can just take a breath and understand that, you know, understand they usually have an extra half second to make a play or make a decision. Everything doesn't have to be rushed. You know, they'll be well served the more they can just slow it down in their minds.
Good defensive pressure applied. Last possession there by McCulloch and Spector. Couldn't quite get it out of bounds off of Woburn as Woburn hits another three-point shot. And the shots are coming from a number of Tanner players from distance tonight. O'Hagan finds Spector up top. Spector drives to her left.
Ooh.
McCarthy's going to collect that off the top and look ahead to Morrison, who finds number 15, Riley Morgan. Really nice little bounce pass. Couldn't finish that one, as Woburn's really moving the ball well and getting some good shots. McCulloch drove into traffic, realized she was there against a taller player, tried to kick it out, didn't find anybody. Great defense by Spector, applying pressure and collecting that steal. Mueller up ahead to O'Hagan. She'll get fouled and go to the line for two. Great push by Wheezy.
I think trying to get out in transition is obviously going to be helpful for them. I think one of the other things, and again, it's something they could certainly try tonight. At this point, it's not going to matter. I'd be curious to see if they really go straight up defensively. They don't worry about the double teams, except for maybe against Shannon. You know, if Shannon gets the ball down low, you're going to have to throw a second at her. But everybody else, I'd really maybe just challenge the girls and just say, girls, you know what? There's not going to be help. Play your girls straight up, shut them down, and see if maybe that helps shut down some of the three-point shooting.
O'Hagan 1 for 2 from the free throw line to get Arlington to 13 points here in the third quarter. Woburn just made 3 changes as, again, Coach Stephen Sullivan keeping his players fresh. Junior captain Brooke Tuzolo with the drive and finish. Mueller finds Spector. Spector to McCulloch. McCulloch drives into traffic.
Nice sidestep. Oh,
and
nice
gets one to roll down and fall.
She did a really nice job sidestepping around Shannon there. Well, maybe my comment about trying to shut him down straight up wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, I think when you've got players the caliber that Woburn does, you know, defense is going to be a challenge. It's going to have to be team effort, but you know, I like what you're saying, Jeff. Don't double necessarily, but you have to help on defense. If you get beat, you got to come in, you got to step and help. Mueller for 3, little long, and Morrison collects the rebound. Another strong game by her, junior number 1. Very controlled, very comfortable with the ball, Jeff. You can tell she's spent a lot of time practicing that. As Jasmine Morgan, a senior captain number 5, drives and gets fouled. That's going to be on McCulloch. I think that's her 3rd. As Coach Martinelli is set to make 3 changes. First free throw's up and good.
I'm a little curious, too, if on the defensive side of things, we're only halfway through the third quarter. Arlington now has 6 on the court. Now we're back to 5.
That might have been a strategy that could have paid some benefits if they'd let it go.
It's early in the third, but I'm curious, just based on how hard Arlington is at the work defensively, if they're starting to get a little bit gassed out. You know, it's as usual. It's a short rotation, and they're definitely starting to look slower as the game goes, at least from a help standpoint with rotations.
So Lucas, Jardine, and Palillo into the game for the Spy Ponders. Spector's shot no good, but offensive rebound collected by Arlington. Lucas drives and finishes. Really well done there by Eileen. Kind of ducked her shoulder, kept the ball strong, and was able to sneak it up on the other end for the layup. Defensive rebound by Jardine. She'll hand off to Spector. Nice crossover dribble. Oh, saw O'Hagan.
I like that pass.
Yeah, the play's there. Nice drive by Spector. Again, it's just the finishing touches there. A little lacking. Mueller back into the game, replacing O'Hagan. Three-pointer for Woburn is good. Mueller drives to her left. Finds Lucas. Pump fake and shift. Back over to Mueller. Drives by her player. Kicks the ball up top to Spector. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Woburn's length be showing a little bit of a problem for Arlington. Nice pass, nice dish by Lucas there. Jardine couldn't quite finish the layup.
It is encouraging to see how Arlington players are trying to keep their head up, though. They're seeing some of these slip passes. They're seeing some of these late passes when you start getting into the paint. And, you know, the person with the ball is seeing the pass. And just as importantly, their teammates are actually in the right spot. Again, we're missing the execution, but if you really want to try to draw a positive out of it, the positive is, like, they're seeing the plays, and the players are in the right position. And for a lot of teams, that is actually the hard part of the challenge. So I'd like to think we could clean up the execution, you know, as we continue going forward.
Yeah, I like that point, Jeff, and I think that's got to be the key here, right? Like, this is the most talented team Arlington's going to face this year. If we play as hard as we're playing now with keeping our heads up the way we're doing against some of the other competition in our very tough league, we're going to fare just fine. We're going to be right in there.
Definitely.
Spector drives to her right, kicks it out to Lucas, takes a three. No good, and Woburn collects the rebound. Good anticipation by Lucas, and the third ref is in the way.
There's the sixth defender for Woburn.
That was really bad luck there. Eileen did a nice job jumping that pass.
And you can see Coach shaking his head as if to say, like, what else could possibly get thrown at us tonight?
Spector with the rebound. She's going to drive ahead. Jardine finds Mueller, who drives, gets it to Palillo. And McCarthy reads that well and comes over and blocks the shot. McCarthy deciding to practice her three-point shooting tonight. Fourth or fifth shot for her. Woburn continues to play hard. Another three-point shot for them is no good. That one makes me nervous there, Jeff, when Jardine going for the ball head first. Thankfully, no collision.
She will never hesitate to dive onto the floor for a ball, but to your point, it's always a little nerve-wracking.
Believe they called a jump ball there, so that'll be Arlington basketball as McCulloch and Paul back into the game for the Spy Ponders, replacing Spector and Jardine. Winding down to the end of a quickly played third quarter. McCulloch to Mueller, into Paul in the corner. Steal by Woburn and foul by Arlington. Nice anticipation and steal by Lucas. She's still playing hard, as is the rest of the Spy Ponder team. Mueller for three. Love to see one go down, and that's really what we need here, Jeff, the rest of the way, is just play basketball, take the shots that are there, keep working hard on defense, which they're doing, and forcing the jump ball. Nice job by Palillo and McCulloch working together there. It'll stay Woburn basketball, but you love to see the effort.
Definitely, and natural tendency. I mean, if you're Woburn, you're up 30 plus. No matter how hard you're going to play, no matter how much effort you want to put into it, you're going to let up a little bit. And if nothing else, it could be an opportunity for Arlington to just gain a little bit of confidence. And again, if play a little bit freer and, you know, try to take advantage maybe if Woburn just lets off the gas a little bit.
I think Gianna's decided she's going to get her money's worth tonight while she's playing, so good to see it. Senior captain playing hard. McCulloch with the steal, finds Mueller. Be good opportunity here for Arlington to work a last-second shot, see what they can do here at the end of the quarter. Nice drive by Mueller. She's going to be fouled. It'll stay Arlington basketball, just under 11 seconds here. We'll run an out-of-bounds play here, see if we can get the last-second shot. Mueller finds McCulloch, who drives round. Is going to get fouled. She'll go to the line for two. Smart play there by the juniors to find each other, go to the line for two. And, you know, keep working on stuff, Jeff. That's an out-of-bounds play. We've seen Arlington run it before. Keep working on the fundamentals, see what you can get.
Definitely. No reason not to. I mean, at this point, turn it into practice. We've got another game on Sunday, and we got to be ready to go in less than 48 hours.
McCulloch's first shot was good. To the line for second. Second shot just off to the right. Clock ticks down. Arlington applying the pressure. McCulloch and the rest of the defense is back. Nice job to force Woburn into no shot there at the end of 3. Arlington down big, but playing hard. So we've got a good crowd here as our cameraman Phil Ryan pans the crowd. Friday night here in Arlington, senior night for the boys. Congratulations to them defeating Woburn earlier this evening, and a nice senior night send-off for Caden Mills and Drew Carmen on the boys team. And as Jeff mentioned, Arlington girls return to action here at home on Super Bowl Sunday. A little bit before the big game, 2 p.m. start against Melrose, which we will be attempting to bring to you live. So hope you can join us for some Super Bowl pregame activities and another chance for the Spy Ponders to get out on the court and play some hoops.
Curious if DraftKings will have any odds on who scores more points, like the Chiefs or Arlington.
Not sure I'm taking any of those bets. Mueller finds McCulloch. McCulloch drives.
Nice take.
And she's going to the line for 2 again. A little bit frustrated, I think, with herself there for not finishing. But again, a good strong take, and she'll go to the line for 2.
She's so effective. She has a couple variations of a similar move, but she's so effective at getting to her left, going downhill, and getting to the line. And she just has a very repetitive free throw motion. I apologize for putting the kibosh on her, but that said, it is still one of the most repetitive, consistent free throw routines of anybody on the team.
Second shot is good.
I mean, I'd be curious. Like, I would love to see video of her shooting free throws and just line them up next to each other, because, I mean, it is the same routine. It's the same motion. I just feel like she's very dependable when she goes to the line.
Nice job by Mueller and McCulloch to come in and get to tie up McCarthy there. Jump ball stays Woburn basketball. O'Hagan back in the game, replaces captain Gianna Palillo. Good stretch for Gianna there, played hard, put a lot of pressure on the Woburn ball handlers. Good stretch of play for her. I think we have an official's timeout. Was there a clock issue here, Jeff, maybe? Not sure what that is, but with 3 refs, hopefully they had the ability to figure it out.
2 of them seemed engaged.
And Woburn coach Sullivan calls a timeout. Didn't like what he saw there, and you know, credit to him. They're going to win this game, but he's still looking at the details and coaching his team, and again tightening up some things as Woburn is preparing for, you know, what they hope is a long playoff run. So he's using this as an opportunity to get a lot of his different players into the game, and still coaching and still trying to finalize some stuff as they wind down their season as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, just like you said, I'm sure they're hoping for a 3rd crack at Bishop Thean, ideally in the finals of states, and you know. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in any season, and Woburn's as you've commented, Woburn's a well-coached team, quality players. But part of the reason why they execute at the level they do is because they don't take time off. Right? Every practice is run at a certain level. Every game, there's a certain set of expectations, and the players know what they're expected to live up to. And you know, to your point, up 28 with 7.5 to go. He doesn't like the way an inbounds play looks, so we're gonna call a timeout. We're gonna talk about that.
So we'll see if the timeout worked. 4 across for Woburn. And there you go. Nice job by Arlington forcing the turnover. After the Woburn travel, it'll be Arlington basketball. Lucas to bring the ball up. She drives and dishes to O'Hagan. Beautiful pass.
That's the right play.
That's a great play, great drive by Eileen. A really nice touch pass to Melina, who's able to catch it and finish at the rim. Three-pointer no good for Woburn, and Paul is able to collect the rebound. She'll push ahead. Gather and get it to O'Hagan down low, who will spin and step into Shannon McCarthy. And going into the body, like you said earlier, Jeff, you know, by not fading away there, she forces the contact. She's going to go to the line for two. That's how you have to finish, despite there being, you know, a strong, big defender waiting for you.
Absolutely. And one of the tricks, you see it a lot. You see it a lot in college basketball and certainly in the NBA, is actually using your body to create the contact when the defensive player is moving. By initiating the contact, you'll get the foul, clear out space, and be able to get the shot up. As opposed to if you go straight up and you don't create the contact, you allow the defensive player to come in and just swallow you up.
O'Hagan 1 for 2 at the free throw line. Applying great pressure on McCarthy, who was able to kick it back out. Paul a little too aggressive on the defense, and Martinelli, I think, indicating that he wants her to play with her feet and not reach. Tough call, but that's going to be Woburn basketball, baseline out of bounds. Two-point shot, no good. Woburn collects the offensive rebound. And Lily Paul, being a good sports person there, helping her opponent up after committing the foul. Just playing hard. Annika Sturma into the game for the first time tonight, replacing Lily Paul. Captain Lily Paul, nice job.
Love seeing Annika get a little bit of run. She brings a lot of energy and intensity out on the court with her.
Nice finish by number 14 for Woburn. Lucas brings the ball up. Good to see Lucas handling the ball a little bit and giving Mueller a chance to play off ball. McCulloch drives into traffic. Is going to be called for the travel, as the Woburn coach has decided he's seen enough of that 5, and he's doing good old-fashioned hockey line switch. Just crossing the 6 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Mueller almost gets the steal as Arlington continues to fly around on defense and make things. We've got I think, an offensive foul called by one referee. They're going to talk it over because we've got nothing better to do. And it's going to be Arlington basketball. Sammy Walsh into the game for the first, no, not for the first time, again this evening, replacing Wheezy Mueller. He'll get a nice chat from Martinelli on the way out. I'm assuming he's saying, you know what, on to the next one. Let's let some people play and get ready for Melrose on Sunday.
Nice idea, a little float pass there. Just let her a little bit too far. Right idea, and again, it was great. Annika's cutting down the baseline, looking for it. Again, they're reading the play right. The basketball IQ is there. Just the execution.
Great pressure being applied by Lucas. But Woburn does a nice job of weathering the storm. Good hands by Walsh and Sturma there. But again, Woburn strong with the basketball. Shot clock winding down. Three-pointer no good for Woburn, and that would have been a tough break for Arlington to play fantastic defense for 33 seconds of the shot clock, but thankfully the basketball gods are with us for a short minute here.
I gotta be honest, they're really moving well around the court. I mean,
Mireya Noakes into the game. Sorry, Jeff. Replacing Alina McCulloch.
As a coach, you know, I think one of the biggest concerns when you go into games and during games is, you know, is my team fighting? Are they putting out the energy? And, you know, there have been very few instances, I think, the entire season where I've really ever questioned it. And again, tonight's no different. And I will say, you know, these are still high school kids. It's a Friday night. It's another long week of school. You got a week left till February break. You're getting blown out. There's every reason in the world to just be like, yeah, you know, I've had enough. And not a single one of them, at least in my eyes, has given up, has quit, has stopped putting in the effort. And there's just a lot to be said about that on an individual basis when you look at each one of these girls. They're bringing everything they have. You know, you're playing a better team, and that's fine. But they haven't stopped for 1 second.
I agree 100%. And last play there is case in point. I mean, Melina O'Hagan playing 25 feet away from the basket, putting pressure on, forcing the turnover. Everybody's still playing hard on defense. Everybody's still locked in. You know, we're still trying to do the right thing. We're still trying to make the right plays. We're still trying to work on our offense. It's great to see. This is what high school sports is about at some point, is how do you get through the tough times? How do you work together? And how do you keep playing hard? And there again, O'Hagan battling, as is the rest of the Spy Punter defense right now. It's going to be a jump ball. Wasn't the last one for Woburn? We're going to give them this one as well. I don't know. Why not?
Yeah. Well, they need an extra hand.
And I apologize. I'm getting a little salty here on a Friday night in a hot gym.
I hadn't noticed the heat tonight.
We have a fan tonight, Jeff. Didn't you notice that?
It's a big upgrade. It's a big upgrade. You have it positioned perfectly.
I do.
I'm getting a little waft of it every once in a while.
If you'd stop jinxing the free throws, I might give you a little bit more of the fan action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll work on that for next game.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. We're still getting this worked out. By next year, we're going to be dangerous.
Zoe DeAngelis in the game for Arlington as Sturma is fouled. She'll go to the line for 2.
I feel like we're at the point in the game where, like, if this was a Celtics game, we'd be waiting to hear Cedric Maxwell talk about, like, a hot dog or talk about some sort of food options. And
yeah,
I was looking down to see if we could send someone down to go get us some pizza or something.
Unfortunately, the snack table is shut down for the night. So that's not an option. Great offensive rebound by Sammy Walsh. She'll find Sturma in low. Right idea. She was going up. She had the shot. She had Zoe cutting. Unfortunately, couldn't get that to work. Back to Woburn basketball. Under 4 minutes here in the game. Woburn shot no good. Eileen Lucas with the rebound. Nice job breaking the pressure by Lucas. She'll throw up a shot, and I think the referees have also closed up shop for the night. Oh, maybe not. We've still got a whistle. Nice job by Eileen, playing hard, getting the turnover. She went up for the shot. She got fouled. She'll go to the line for 2.
One of the more underrated parts of Eileen's game, no matter what happens to her offensively, and sometimes it actually drives her even harder, if she takes a shot like that offensively, and, you know, maybe after the fact she's like, that probably wasn't the best shot, or maybe I should have done something different. She doesn't sit there and, like, look up at the heavens. She doesn't sit there and, like, pound her head. She's like, okay, well, I missed the shot. They got a rebound. I'm going to try to steal the ball back. And the number of times where she successfully does it is really impressive.
That's great. And into the game for the first time tonight, number 20, Erin Grande, replacing Eileen Lucas.
Also, a happy early 16th birthday to Eileen Lucas.
There we go. As the youth movement continues, a lot of young players on this Arlington team. Future looks bright for the Spy Ponders. Sturma drives, kicks it. Nice shot by Aaron Grande. Couldn't get that one to go. Good defensive pressure being applied by Sturma there. Referee's going to get a little bit, going to get the call a little bit too aggressive.
Love to see Aaron just come out shooting. I remember last year watching her play. When she was left unguarded, she would sit out at the three-point line all day and just bang shots in. So again, nice to see her come out and no hesitation. She's open, fire.
I love it. That's the right mentality. Nice work play by Woburn as they get the bucket to fall. Sturma will bring it up. And somebody can text Coach Mike down there to go ahead and be a little bit delayed on the stopping of the clock so we can get out of here and get the weekend started. As we got an offensive charge. Nice job, Annika Sturma, stepping in, taking the charge. The bench loves it. Coach Martinelli loves it. Sturma works and waits for the screen. DeAngelis trying to get it inside, not quite there. Great double team being applied by Arlington. It's going to be out of bounds. Turnover. Nice job by Mireya and Zoe there, double teaming the Woburn player and forcing a turnover. That's going to stay Arlington ball as we are under 2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter.
Despite not having one of their traditional point guards on the court, Arlington's doing a decent job trying to get this offense set up and moving the ball around, which is nice to see.
Sturma finds Walsh. Walsh kicks it to Noakes, who drives.
That looked like the same dribble that Alina got called for in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think it was. I think the time in the game and the score of the game dictates that that's a play on at this point. Although Woburn did turn the ball over, it'll be Arlington basketball. Sturma brings the ball over, and she'll work it over to Walsh. Gets her hands on the ball, can't quite gather. Woburn drive and finish for number 20. As Noakes will bring the ball up for Arlington. Under a minute to go. She drives and gets fouled. She'll go to the line for two. First shot no good for Mireya. She'll take another.
This isn't going to be a perfect analysis by any stretch, but at the end of the first quarter, it was 19-2, so minus 17. We're at minus 30. That means we played basically minus 13 over the last three quarters. Understanding both teams went deep into their benches. You know, you don't necessarily know how it plays out if you're playing the same girls that you played the rest of the game. But, you know, against the number 2 team in the state, minus 13 over three quarters. That's a good showing. I mean, horrible first quarter on a number of levels, but, and you can't erase it, you can't pretend it didn't happen, but again, if I'm trying to draw positives out of this, like, that's a positive. And again, the offense still wasn't there. I mean, That means we scored 24 points through 3 quarters, which is, at that pace, that should be 32 for a game. So again, not saying it's perfect, not saying it's amazing, but there's something there to draw on.
No, I agree, Jeff. And on top of that, I'll say, which we've commented on before, everybody's got their head up. Everybody's engaged. Look at the bench right now. Everybody's looking on, leaning forward. Nobody's got their heads down. Everybody's eyes up into the game, cheering on their teammates. Coach Martinelli's coaching till the final whistle. You know, this is a team that's engaged. This is a team that's locked in. Sammy Walsh, sidestep. I thought she was going to get a three-pointer. Annika will take it. She'll get fouled and go to the free throw line. And this is just, again, another example. We're playing till the very last whistle. 1.3 seconds to go here, and she'll go to the line for 2. So I believe these free throws will be the last shots of the game as Arlington will back away. Woburn's going to walk away with the victory tonight. They'll improve their record and stay hot. Arlington's going to come away with the loss, you know, but I hope keep their heads held high and recognize that there's no practice before the next game. They got to get back here in the gym. Sammy will take a shot, doesn't get it to go. And that will do it for tonight. For Arlington, a tough game, you know, final score 56-26. Arlington now has 4 games remaining on the season. Like we mentioned, we'll be back here on Sunday afternoon prior to the Super Bowl to take on Melrose. We may have 1 or 2 players join us. We'll stay on air to see if that happens. As we wait for that, potentially, Jeff, closing thoughts on tonight's game.
Scoreboard, I mean, from a scoreboard standpoint, it's just tough all the way around. You have to dig into it to find the positives. But most importantly, exactly like you just said, tomorrow's a day off. Clear your heads. Bring the same intensity on Sunday and understand you're not playing the number 2 team in the state on Sunday. You have a very realistic chance to come out on Sunday, put a W up on the board. No one's going to hand it to you. Middlesex League from top to bottom is a tough league. There are no easy games. But if you show up with that intensity and keep working, making the right plays, you're going to be okay on Sunday. And you need to keep your head up and understand where the positives are and understand who you played tonight.
I agree with all that. Appreciate it, Jeff. For Jeff Spector and Phil Ryan, I'm Lewis McCulloch, wishing you a good night, a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Sunday prior to the Super Bowl. Enjoy your Friday night, everybody.